Hi everybody, coming back with a update on my Gnoll army building blog after a few weeks without an update. Things just kind of snowballed and I didn't have as much time to work on hobby stuff as I would have liked, and when I did sneak in some work on hobby stuff, that didn't really leave me a lot of time to post a video. But here I am. I think I've got a good amount of progress done on these guys. I want to kind of show you where I'm at with this first unit, which is also kind of my experimental unit of soldiers, so hand, weapon, and shield. So here's just an example. Again, this guy, let me try to focus. Very simple paint scheme right now. I wanted to get all the base colors on him and then go back over with a wash, and then from there I will be highlighting up probably just one highlight for each color, because I want to get these guys on the table and into battle pretty quickly. And honestly, a lot of times I find it's not really worth doing a whole lot more than one highlight on your rank and file troops. Now on characters or big monsters, I will definitely take a little bit more time. But again, it depends on what he looks like and what the rest of them look like once they do get that one highlight. If I feel that they're not really up to snuff, I'll put more work into them. So this first batch that I'm showing off, I actually ordered, well, I was putting it in order to Reaper for some brushes and other things. This is Gnoll Pelt, and you know, if you've got a color called Gnoll Pelt, you might as well use it on Gnolls. I'm kind of up in the air about how much I like this. I was kind of expecting like a tawny color that you'd see on a lion or on a hyena, but this actually has a little bit of green to it. You can't see it so much on like this little fella, but on the shot or on the this tracker, you can definitely see that's without the wash, and there's definitely a substantial green tint, and I'm not entirely sure how much I like that, but we'll see. And I've kind of did a few different, like a handful of different colors with the Gnolls, so they're not all uniform. These guys are what would the equivalent of the old snakebite leather. Vallejo does a series of game colors, and they line up perfectly with the classic range of Games Workshop paints. So your Goblin Greens, your Chaos Black, your Bestial Brown, things like that. And I actually, of all the colors that I did, I like this snakebite leather tone the best. You can see I gave them all. I was actually debating a little bit on what color eyes I was going to give them. Red eyes, I'm thinking of maybe reserving for orcs. And I think they're a little bit overdone in everything else. The other big color I was working on is yellow, because I kind of wanted that wild, reflective, sort of predatory night vision eye. But this is, I think it's moot green or one of the new GW colors, and it pops pretty nicely. It's striking, it gives a nice focal point on the model. Again, I have to go back over their teeth and everything to kind of pick those back out. Got the dark flesh Gnolls over here. He's a little bit grizzled with his one eye. The champion or captain, or whatever he needs, or just leader, whatever he needs to be. Probably going to pick out his details a little bit more, as well as highlight him up. And then I had a lot more of these ginger gnolls, sort of, but I felt like they were, I don't know, I had too many of them, so I went back and painted over a few of them so that they're a little bit rarer in the unit. I've only got 3 at this point. But I'm pretty pleased with them. The wash, it was a strong tone army painter wash. I know a lot of people use, what is it, Nuln oil. I've actually never tried that, but I am very pleased with how the Army Painter wash worked out. I've been using their inks before, and they were okay, but the wash really did it for me. So this is going to be one of my Wolvers. I'm probably going to get another Bones and paint him up. Now, I do like the sculpt a lot. My only thing is that I feel it's a little bit too modern. Ideally, I would have liked to find something a little bit more in the old school style, but again, as so many times happens with Reaper Bones, is between the price and the availability, you just can't beat it. It's not perfect, but all things considered, it will do nicely. So yeah, I just had squirted out a little bit of extra paint, so I decided to give him a little bit of a start on his paint job. Now here is going to be my King Warlord. I haven't even gotten to the point of washing this guy, but he's coming along pretty nicely. There was a little bit of damage on his leg plate there. I don't know if it was casting trouble or whatever, but I actually think it adds a little bit of character, some battle damage. And then, so also when I did my Reaper order, I got myself a good old, now I don't have his arms on or anything, but there's a Yanagu. He is the Dungeons and Dragons patron deity, demon lord of the Gnolls. I'm kind of at a loss of what to use him for in Oathmark. Maybe a giant, maybe, what is it, a Bodok, no, not a Bodok, one of the other critters that's sort of big and magical. Maybe even a Bargus, but I don't know. But he's cool, I like him, he fits the theme, so that will earn him a place in the army somewhere. And then moving on, just some very basic paint that I splashed onto the other characters. I wasn't really focusing on them. Now, I also did a little bit of work on a prototype for my line breakers. Now, I wanted to up armor these guys so that they fit the description of heavy armor. What I did is I have the, one second. So what this is this is just like a little texture plate that I got from Green Stuff World for chainmail. The first couple times I did it, I didn't actually follow the directions as I should have. I left the green stuff on there to dry, and that made it kind of hard to work with. What I was supposed to do is just kind of roll the green stuff on, pull it back off immediately, and then apply it to the model, which in retrospect would have made things a lot easier. Then I could have sort of conformed it to the model's body, but I'm not terribly disappointed. That's also why I just did one as a prototype to kind of get the kinks out. The shoulder pads are from the, I believe they're the Vampire Count's Graveguard plastics from Games Workshop. Ideally, I would like to find a way to find Gnoll heads with helmets, or to model them. Sadly, I don't think my modeling skills are up to snuff, and even if North Star did decide to come out with a alternate heads conversion set, that would probably take a while, and I don't think I'm going to wait around for that. So they'll just all be bareheaded when I get around to them. But again, overall, I'm pretty pleased. These guys will probably be running around with my chieftain once I get them done. And I did a little bit of a detour also. So Rangers of Shadow Deep, I picked that up mainly because it is a solo game, pretty much. I kind of am jonesing for a good game. Things have slowed down where I am, even though that we're not on as strict a lockdown here. A lot of my buddies have people in their households that are kind of vulnerable, so we've been holding back on the in-person get-togethers. So I wanted to get some gaming in and sort of have, it's fine sitting back and building things, but if you can ever use them, you lose a little bit of your motivation. But anyway, so here is my Ranger. Now, you might say, that doesn't look like a Ranger. And I don't really plan to use him like a Ranger, because why send a Ranger to do the job of a Paladin? So I am planning on giving this guy, giving him the abilities and the equipment to have him play more like a Paladin. And I plan to kind of use the rather flexible, I don't know what you would call it, warband, posse, whatever, gang building system available in Oathmark Rangers, to make a Paladin and his retinue. This is going to be my cleric. It's kind of a stand-in holy symbol. It's the top of a Roman Aquila banner that I had extra. Body of a Frostgrave Knight, head from Fireforge Templars. I really like how he turned out. Hoping to get a book from one of the Plastic Wizard sets to go on his hip there. Holy text. We've just got, a crossbowman. It's a little bit of kit bashing. A couple men-at-arms to follow the brave Paladin into danger. And then I also got, and I would love to use him in Oathmark, this, he's listed as a Dark Elf from Blacktree Miniatures, and I someday will be planning to use him in a, theoretical elven force that I want to do in the future. Basically, I want to do every Oathmark army, but we'll see how that turns out. And it kind of makes me, just his pose and sort of his character and his equipment, makes me kind of wish that there were rules for Wizard Kings or kind of hybrid classes for your characters. Because he's obviously got something enchanted there. And, it would only make sense for an Elven Lord to have at least a few mystical abilities. But I don't know. He'll probably get painted when I get bored of painting Gnolls. But there you go. This is even longer than I usually go. Let me know what you think. If you have any comments, any criticisms, any tips. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. I love looking at everybody's stuff on the Facebook group. That definitely keeps me motivated. Everybody else's videos. It's nice that there's a community that we can touch base with, even though we are, for one reason or another, isolated or separated from our normal communities. That said, have a great one, and I will talk to you later.